This is the real Remy Brad, and I support Crumb TV.
It's IG No Flex Zone. You are now watching Crumb TV.
Hey, this is Reggae Boy, and I'm watching Crumb TV.
And you're now watching Crumb TV.
What's up? This is your brother Walsh Red, and you're now watching Crumb TV.
This is the real Remy Brad, and I support Crumb TV.
Brother Red Pill representing Know the Ledge, one half of the Twin Pillars. I am here rocking with Crumb TV.
You are watching Crumb TV.
You can find me on Crumb TV.
You can catch me on Crumb TV.
This is Chief Conical here at Crumb TV.
I am Joy Allen of the Memoirs of a Karmic Dynasty in the Crumb TV studio.
Honored to be on your program, brother.
Peace.
Peace.
Crumb.
Hey, you are now watching Crumb TV.
Crumb TV.
Hey, we in Chicago, y'all, and y'all watching Crumb TV.
It's your brother, Timbuktu. I say.
You are now watching Crumb TV.
You in Chi-Town finest. You're in Inglewood. Always up to no good. Man, I'm telling my brother Crumb.
You're watching Crumb TV.
I'm your humble brother, and you are watching Crumb TV. Reporting live from the Wild Hunter Southside Chicago.
And you now watching Crumb TV.
And you're watching Crumb TV. Crumb TV, baby. Hey.
Crumb.
You are now watching Crumb TV.
You're watching Crumb TV.
This is Prema Osset in Los Angeles, Leimert Park, and you are now watching Crumb TV.
You are watching Crumb.
Hello, everybody. Recording live from somewhere. What's going on? It's good, fam. We in the building. I think we'll do something a little bit different with the intro. You know what I'm saying? Try something a little bit different with the intro. We're gonna make sure that y'all see all our shit. You know what I'm saying? Just like a TV commercial type shit. We can run our own ads. Crump been doing the ad situation, but expect a longer intro going forward. This brother did some work. He everywhere. Chicago, Leimert Park, Carolina, Jersey. The brother's fucking everywhere. What say ye, good brother?
All is well. All is truly well. How are you?
All is well. All is well. Listen, I'm excited about this one, bro, because I had a chance to see some of the work you put together for this joint. So I'm excited about this. I'm gonna let you take the lead on it. I'm gonna add value where I can. You know what I'm saying? Because the shit is already well put together. But you know, first things first. Let's of course do some housekeeping rules. I'm gonna let you do your thing.
Yeah. I wanted to start it off, you know, in the true spirit of ads, and talk about February 10th, if I could, real quick. So if you could just throw that flyer up whenever you get a chance. I wanted to say we were supposed to watch the movie Clarence, the Gospel of Clarence, and we weren't able because the movie, nobody bootlegged it. But I think it was two people that I dropped the ball on. I wanted to give them a special invite to this. It's actually Cosmic Cutie. You already know who that is, so shout out to her. That's right, Cosmic. So Cosmic, please join us on the Black His Story Month. Outside of that, we've sold a great deal of tickets, and I wanted the family to know that we are at the last rundown of that, to where it's now or never. So it's at crumtv.info/events. That's right, family, crumtv.info/events. The Minister of Information on February 10th will be demonstrating. And I think this particular, you can put the flyer back up one more time. I'm sorry. And I think this particular video really does a good job at setting us up for what's to come.
It does.
So, yes.
It does. It's fucking perfect, actually.
Yeah, I totally agree. So I'm super excited to do this particular video to kind of warm the family up and get them ready to go a little bit deeper into history on February 10th on Zoom with the Minister of Information. You got to tap in, get your tickets.
Listen. This shit gonna be so dynamic because y'all get a chance to talk back to me in real time. There's no chatting or commenting. No, we can talk face to face. This is what makes this situation so dynamic. Plus, we get to talk about stuff that we can't really talk about on this platform for various reasons. Right. We get to say what we want to say. We get to cut a food. So definitely tap in, man. We got a couple tickets left. crumtv.info/events. Check in with us, man. Tickets. How much are the tickets? That may be the problem. They may not know how much tickets. How much tickets are?
Hold on, let me check. I think they're like.
Let's see, here's what happened. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say they're $20, somewhere around there, like $20.
Come on, fam. Tap in. Listen, this is the only time I'm gonna fucking go. Like, y'all have never seen me go in. Y'all never seen me go in. Like, I can go the fuck in. And I say that humbly, not puffed up with pride or conceit, but humbly I say that, man. Like, tap in. And this is not a beg or a plea. Don't come. It's up to you. Either way, you're gonna be right. Whether you come or you don't come. Those who are already got tapped, listen, man. We're about to turn this shit up. And I want y'all to go ahead and have y'all questions together. You know what I'm saying? Get your pens and your pads together. And we're gonna chop it up. Ain't no fucking time restraints either. Okay? We're talking all fucking night. We're gonna build. And what I want to do before it gets too late is kind of do these lives up until that time and just set the tone for what you guys are gonna be getting. A lot of information. Not so Black History Month. Get out of your cotton picking mind. That's the lecture I'm doing. I'm gonna do a lecture called "Get Out Your Cotton Picking Mind," and I got another one called "The Creation of Negroes." And it's not gonna be what y'all think. It's gonna be a lot of literature, a lot of writing. This is gonna be a curriculum-based Zoom. So there's no heckling or no goofy shit going on. If you get tickets to this Zoom, it's a classroom. And I'm a fucking professor. I'm gonna be in my professor capacity. Teaching. This is for those who want to learn. And I really don't doubt those who bought tickets already probably went to college. It's not a shot. I'll tell you why. Anybody that pays for education understands the value. And it's not a shot at those. It's not a shot at those who don't want to buy tickets. You don't want to buy tickets, fine. Hey man, whatever. But those who tapping in February 10th, I'm about to blow y'all fucking mind, bro.
That's right.
February 10th, man. Tap in. But listen, how was Carolina?
Man, Dr. Aleem El Bey showed me love. So his store is called Juices and More, M-O-O-R. And I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was just like a play on words where he just wanted to kind of slip the word more in there. But no, that thing is it's a juice bar. It's a vegan restaurant. It's a daggone apothecary. It's a stone shop. I'm sorry?
You said apothecary. What's
yes,
that?
Sir. Apothecary was the old what do you call them? I was gonna say Goodwill. Walgreens, Eckerd's. These are your modern apothecaries where back in the day they used to have herbs, they'd have plants, they'd have all types of natural remedy. I'm trying to think of some herbs. Cinnamon, bladderwrack, sea moss, blah blah blah. Just a bunch of different natural herbs and remedies would be a apothecary. And he had all of those there. He had maybe like a library all on the wall with just different types of herbs and spices, and you know the thing looked like the goddamn Silk Road. But yeah, he had a crystal section. Maybe it was like a 10-foot wall of nothing but crystals, all in Roy G. Biv, the light spectrum order. He also had a library on the opposite side. And brother, I'm gonna tell you this: the best vegan menu I've ever seen in my life. A lot of people were doing the BS with the vegan stuff. He had these lentil steak burgers. Them joints was on point, bro. I'm not gonna lie. And like he had this hummus, and I kept stopping. I'm like, bro, is this meat? He's like, no, it's not no meat. And it just tasted so good. I'm like, dang. But nonetheless, yes, he showed me a good time. Nobody from Henderson, North Carolina came. Everybody was from out of town. I don't know.
Always. Remember the joint in Atlanta? It was like nobody from Atlanta was in the fucking room. That was weird. It was packed, sold out.
Bro, I thought the exact same thing. So I just really loved it. Lots of good people. Dr. Aleem showed me mad love. Thank you for asking, brother.
Now, on the back, listen. We had 98 fucking viewers. Y'all already know we're not gonna go live till we hit 100. It's not worth our time. So share it. But what I was gonna say was, tell Dr. Aleem Bey, man, I got a bone to pick with him, man.
Uh-oh.
It's a small fish bone, not dinosaur bone.
A fish bone.
A small fish bone. But
okay.
Yeah, I want to deal with Bill with a good doctor. Now you had some other shit popping off too, right?
Yeah, but I think that's going to have to be canceled. I do apologize in advance.
No Detroit. Okay.
Yeah. We're not going to do Detroit. Sorry about that. But I think,
but you've been to the D a couple times though. I mean, you shown Detroit love, like crazy love. You've been there quite a few times.
Yeah. I did Detroit twice already. I'm almost ready to do Detroit more than New York, and I need to go back to New York. So, yeah, I've been showing Detroit love. So.
Yeah. You go back to what? Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Brooklyn.
Yes. It was Brooklyn Heights.
Listen, man. Put me in contact with it, bro, because I want to do a brunch takeover in New York. I think I can do it, you know, because I still got the connections up there. I got people that fuck with me real hard in New York, man, like for real. So, like, let's make that happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's, he just supports 100%. You know, we already did the thing. I think revealing the Masonic code you had did there in Brooklyn. And a lot of people from like Jersey and so on and so forth came out. So, you know, he definitely remembers us. And I'm sure he will, as usual, be happy to accommodate us.
Islam. Cool. So let's hop over to these comments, man. And so I can get you to do your thing.
Yeah. So, family, we want to do the first responders, which is the first people to tap in. Now, within the first 15 minutes or whatever, however long we've been on, I think we're about like 100 people tapping in. So for time's sake, we'll just do the first 3. We call that the perfect trifecta, and I want to emphasize perfect. Number 1 of the perfect trifecta, it's a usual suspect, meaning she's always on time and she's a moderator. Put some respect on her name. It's Cosmic Cutie. She says, this should be interesting. With that emoji with the open eyes. That's really funny. Yeah. Number 2 is Conscious Connect. She says, fire. Tapping in. I'm tapping in. With the exclamation marks. That's right, family. Tap all the way in. Number 3 of this perfect trifecta, another usual suspect, divine masculine energy, usual suspect, master student, disciple, divine family. Oh, he already got divine family in there. Peace and love, divine royal family. It's Reginald Timms L. Put some respect on his name. I see you. I love you. I appreciate you.
Islam.
Islam.
You see that L up there? You see that L of that bay up there? You already know, man. And for those who don't, when you see the brothers and the sisters with the EL and the BE and the DEY, the L, the bays and the days, it has to be understood. That was taught to us by the prophet. Noble Jew Ali, that the L's in the ways, the L's in the bays are the wheels in the ways. What that means is the L's are the creators and the bays are the enforcers. So when you see that L and bay on their name, man, put some respect on it, man. For sure. All right. Let's do a couple more, man, because people are tapping in. This is a new face. Jazz Jacobs. I've never seen sister before. Peace and love.
She says, reflections, family, divine reflections, beautiful reflections.
Let's see. Let's hop around and see who we got on here.
Wow, I didn't expect to see him. The God 720. This is Keenan Booker. We did a review on one of his mini books. It was called Kicked Out of Heaven. I think the minister had did a video on part 3, but volume 3.
Gotta hop back on there again with that brother, man.
Yeah, he goes into the medieval times of Europe, goes very deep into it. 3-volume series.
As a matter of fact, I need you to leverage that deal. Hit the brother up, see what this Canal look like. Me and him can go on some random fucking night, I don't care, Wednesday, Tuesday, and tap back in with that, because that was a good conversation. Possibly Sunday.
God 720. If you're still up here and you good with Sunday, tap in and type 720 to let us know you down. If you're still here. If not, I'll probably just text you. All right, next on the list is True King. He says peace with the Ashe. Y'all gotta recognize this stuff, family. He says peace, family. We saying peace back. I think he's a moderator too. If not, I gotta make him a moderator. But either way, much respect to you.
Will Justice always tapping in too.
And Will Justice probably on any day one of the smartest people in the room. Shout out to him. He says 411 KKKILLA.
Unaliver.
Right. Unsubscribe you.
right. So listen, man. Shouts out to everybody, man. With 118 viewers, this is what we're talking about, man. 100 viewers off the rip, and we ain't even really 15 minutes into the situation yet. So, Crumb, I'm gonna throw this PowerPoint up, man, and let you goddamn just take off explaining what's happening. And like I said before, I'll throw some visuals up and try to add my portion of understanding and just add some value to it. So as always, I'm gonna give my historical perspective of what the good brother is talking about. I'm gonna give y'all the backdrop. I'm gonna give you guys the prequel, if you will, to how this shit got started. So without further ado, good brother, I yield the floor.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you so much. K, and the last letter is absolutely K. So the first section of this is going to be origins. Yeah, you can go to the next one. The first section is origins, in which we talk about the origins of this particular group. Next slide. The KKK was started in 1865 after the South lost the war and the government changed. Kyklos is a term used by some classical Greek authors to describe what they consider as the cycle of government in a society. Ku Klux, meaning ring or circle in Greek, and also refers to Ku Klux Klan, the United States' very first terrorist group whose name comes from the Greek term. You're going to see this KFC style. You can go back one second. You're going to see this KFC style meme to the left, and it reads, the name of the Ku Klux Klan was derived from the Greek word kyklos, meaning circle, and the Scottish Gaelic word clan. We're going to go deep into the Scottish aspect. I just want to make sure I bring that out early. This is a Scottish thing. Please continue.
And I want to add value to this also. Keep in mind the rituals, RITE, rituals of the Scottish rite. Keep in mind, you're gonna start the connection between the Scottish rituals or Scottish rite, and I can what's his name? Albert Pike, Mores of Dogma, and this whole trajectory of associations with secret societies, because the Klan is a secret society. I'm pretty sure you're going to jump into that also. Also, keep in mind, we're talking about the Greek. We know about the Greek fraternities and Greek secret societies also. So this is all inclusive to secret societies and cult activity off the rip. And it said the U.S. first terrorist group. It should have said domestic terrorists. That's misleading you, because they've already painted a picture of what terrorists look like. When I say the word terrorist, you think of somebody from Abu Dhabi or Middle East, because how they propagated that word. So they should have said domestic terrorists, because these were homegrown terrorists. Just want to point that out.
Absolutely. Next slide, please.
Now you already know I want to chime in on this one. This is juicy. Go ahead, though.
Now, the word live in a time is blocking my view, but I believe it says the fraternal. I'm not sure what it says. Let me see. On that one. Oh, okay, I see it. The KKK is fraternal. All European fraternities come from the Islamic Moors. The Moors gave Europe her first universities and set up the first fraternities. The KKK is a European fraternity, so it has Islamic connections. I'll go into those connections more in this particular slide, in this PowerPoint, but in this particular slide, you're going to see one of the original KKK outfits, hoods, get-ups, costumes, whatever they call it. And on the original, one of the oldest gowns, I don't know what you want to call it, you're going to see the crescent moon and star. That's the same crescent moon and star you're going to see on fezzes for the Pale Skin Nation, the Shriners, so on and so forth. Please add value, brother.
Yeah. First thing I want to point out. Oh, I got to put my cooking music on. Let's cook this shit right quick. First of all, I want to cook, like really cook this shit for y'all real quick, right? The emblem on that cardigan sweater. First, look at the star. Behind that star, there's a dark object, circular. Behind the dark circular object, there's a bigger, lighter circular object. Those are three individual objects I just showed you. That's the star, the moon, and the sun. The mother, the son, and the fucking child. I'm sorry, the child, the mother, and the father. The Holy Trinity. Yes, that's the Holy Trinity on his sweater in the middle picture. That's the Eastern Star. That's the star that all Shriners sworn to protect. Shriners Hospital. They only protected children. The child of who? The Ali child of the Eastern Star. Now that fez, that's a fez. See, Moors war was called a tarbouche. I can show you that. A tarbouche is a short hat. This is a fez or a fez. And on all these fezes, see, these Europeans are Shriners. The brothers, the Asiatics, we're nobles. So that's why you see people like Noble Drew Ali with a fez on without the markings on it, because nobles rock their fezes that way. But these Shriners, well, they're just pretenders. So in that same vein, I want to share something with y'all real quick. I still want to cook this shit. These are the founders of said shrindom. Dr. Walter Fleming of the Shriners. The European version. Dr. Millard Fleming was a prominent physician and surgeon born in 1838. Always pick to the dates, y'all. He obtained a degree in medicine in Albany, New York in 1862. During the Civil War. Why am I harping on the word during the Civil War? Because this whole PowerPoint that Brother Crum is about to bring to y'all took place after the fucking Civil War. You're going to see a huge political and religious shift in North America. I keep saying it, and I'm going to continue to say it until y'all study this shit. The Third Great Awakening. Everything he about to talk about the Ku Klux Klan came out of a movement, both political and social. Because see, that's what the fuck the Reconstruction was. It was a political Reconstruction. Because at the same time, he's going to talk about the Ku Klux Klan after the 1865 era in the South. I can show you prominent black political leaders who were senators, like Hiram Revels. I can show you people like T. Montgomery founding. Not talking about Black Wall Street. It was already there. Founders of cities during the same time period. So anyway, these are the founders of what the good brother was showing us just now. Dr. Flemings, look him up. And Dr. Flemings, he was a 33rd degree Scottish Rite Mason. On September 19th, 1872, Fleming took the ideas supplied by Florence, converted them into what will be known as the Ancient Arabic Order of the Noble Mystic Shrine. The Ancient Arabic Order of the Noble Mystic Shrine. I'm going to say that one more time, people in the back. The Ancient Arabic Order of the Noble Mystic Shrine. The Arabic Order. Now, the brothers who are part of the nobility, the nobles, these are Shriners, not nobles. The nobles are the order of the ancient Egyptian order. The ancient Arabic order comes after. And without going too deep, I wanted to point out, again, the founders. The founders. And why they were doing what they're doing. Why they got these fezzes on. And I also can show you, before I pass the mic, I also can show you these same clansmen in America. Oh, we can go there. We can fucking go there. This is in Spain. These are Christians. And this is before. This tradition is prior to 18 anything. Come on, man. I yield the floor, good brother.
All right, next slide. All right, so now that we talked about the origins, let's talk about the Reconstruction Era. Next slide. Let me see that thing real quick. All right, let me just read this for you. It says, times were hard. They reasoned because there were so many Negroes in their midst taking their jobs and undermining their standards of living. Negroes were entering politics. I can't see the last couple of words. You hear me, brother?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. You could change. Yeah, there you go. Change the view. I'm sorry, the layout. There you go. Negroes were entering politics, starting businesses, and talking black. I'm being funny. Talking back. In your pictures here, you're going to see the first black members of the U.S. Congress. Now, if you hopefully saw our last video, I think it was called The New Black History. We talked about this first gentleman to the far left. And maybe in other videos, we'll talk about all of these individuals individually. I don't know. But nonetheless, I just want to set the tone. After Reconstruction, so-called black people, so-called Negroes, they really take off in a big way. And it's not like these were former slaves. We know that Harem was born free. His mama and daddy were free. His grandparents were free. You know, he wasn't a part of the slave thing. So I don't want to present it as, oh, he was a slave, then he was a politician. No, there were already operations of, free so-called black people already during that particular time. We can go to the next slide unless you have something you want to add.
Now I think we already beat a dead horse about the freedmen versus it was two different societies in that time of individuals who were enslaved or in prison. There were no prisons at that time, family. But this group of individuals is some people we're going to discuss more on February 10th. That's why I say new black history. We need to understand that everybody wasn't tied down to the chopping block picking cotton. So that's all I'll say about that.
Okay. The Battle of Canal Street. The Battle of Liberty Place / Canal Street was an attempted insurrection and coup d'etat by the Crescent City White League. I underlined and bolded White League because I want you guys to hold that in the back of your mind. So, the Battle of Liberty Place or Canal Street was an attempted insurrection and coup by the Crescent City White League against the Reconstruction Era. This is in Louisiana, which is a Republican state, or was state of government, on September 14th, 1874, in New Orleans, which was the capital of Louisiana. We can go to the next one if you want. So now, the Battle of Canal Street continued. 5,000 members of the White League, which is a paramilitary terrorist organization made up largely of Confederate veterans, fought against the outnumbered New Orleans Metropolitan Police, and they outnumbered the New Orleans Metropolitan. The Louisiana State Militia. The insurgents held the State House, the Armory, and downtown for 3 days, retreating before the arrival of federal troops that only restored the white
it's cut off on my side
planted government. I can't see what it says on the bottom. Anyway, you can go back one second. If you look at this picture to the right, you're going to see this picture. I want to ask the family, if you've seen this picture before, can you please press 000? If you have seen this picture before, please press 000. Now, why is this important? Because there's a 99% chance that you've seen this picture before, but no one ever broke it down for you. You just kind of like, oh, okay. Now you recognize the black people, the man, woman, and child at the bottom. You recognize them. They're cowering. They're in fear. They're actually on a shield of arms with a lynched melanated person in the background. You recognize the skull and the crossbone at the top of the shield. You recognize the KKK member on the right of the shield, but you don't recognize that guy on the left. That's the one you don't recognize. What I've done is put a red circle with a red arrow pointing to the label on that guy. It says the White League. On his paper, on his jacket, it says the White League. So now the White League is clicking up with the KKK after successfully overthrowing the government for 3 days. This is the same type of insurrection that happened with Donald Trump. But in this case, because they were terrorists, domestic terrorists, nobody went to jail. Does anybody know how much nobody is? I yield the floor if you want to speak, or we can go to the next slide.
Just wanted to add that picture of that skull grabbing up there. Just kind of felt like this.
Ooh, teach.
Yeah.
That's the scene from the Django when he grabbed that girl by the skull cap.
Right, but he had broke down the presentation of that white skull in front of her. He was saying how by removing a part or piece of the skull, it made Negroes subtile. So he's going into like some psychology shit. But this is the poster child image for like the picture you just shown demonstrated with them grabbing that skull over their head. They're covering their head. That's symbolic to shit I won't really go into right now. But he explained in the scene that if you remove a piece, a certain part of the skull, Negroes become basically docile and submissive. That white skull in this same time frame. Remember, I'm gonna keep telling maybe just the fucking disciples who are listening right now. Disciples understand how I teach. I'm gonna keep telling y'all, pay attention to the time frame. It's going to be 1828, 1868, 1865, 1867, 1920 something, 1930 something, 1870 to about 1950. America was fucking crazy. That skull was first presented by Johann Blumenbach. And people like Johann Blumenbacher, Samuel Morton, these individuals were making claims against Negroes, how smart we were, how dumb we were, how we were really bred to serve. That's why that scene right there was so it just kind of stood out in your scene with the skull with the black people right there. So that's all. You continue.
Okay. All right, the next section, now that we've gone over origins, now that we've gone over Reconstruction, let's go over the KKK's book, their handbook. Next slide, please. The Kloran.
Oh God, wait a minute, man. Wait a minute. You didn't say anything about this.
He's so funny.
Good Lord, bro. Hold on, I'm trying to find it. Give me a second. Cause this just fucked me up. Hold on. I don't want to clue ball from this.
I said, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right. I said,
please proceed, brother. Enlighten us on this.
The Kloran. The Kloran is the handbook of the Ku Klux Klan. Versions of the Kloran typically contain detailed descriptions of the roles of different Klan members, as well as detailing Klan ceremonies and procedures. It is further proof of this fraternity's Islamic connection. So if you want to, it's really up to you, family. You can Google this and, confirm for yourself. Now, if you Google it, you're going to see the picture to the very far right. It says the Kloran Knights of the Ku Klux Klan of Kawanda, or something like that. K Uno, character, honor, duty. In the very middle, we're going to see where they got this from, the official Islamic origin. The Islamic origin, that's right. There it is right there. There it is right there. This is all wise, right, and exact. And for $15, you can get your own copy from Better World Books. That's a plug right there, Better World.
Wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more. That is funny.
The Kloran, the handbook of the Ku Klux Klan version of the Kloran, typically contain detailed descriptions of the role of different Klan members, as well as detailing Klan ceremonies and procedures. The letter Ka were often used at the beginning of words to delineate the Klan associations. Example: Kloran, controversy, like the Bloods and Crips. I get it. Clever. To differ from the practice of the first Klan during the Reconstruction, very little of the Reconstruction Klan's terminologies were carried over. Most titles for high officials in the organization, the leaders, the individual Klaverin, for example, the Exalted Cyclops. The original Kloran was written by William Simmons for his revered Knights of the Ku Klux Klan in 1915. He drew heavily on previous experience with fraternalism.
Correct.
Fraternalism. He had been a member of many different lodges, and had sold memberships in Woodman of World before deciding to reveal the Klan.
Revive
the Klan, and there's some references right here that right there. But I want to point out some things I want you guys to keep in mind as we go along. Different lodges. We're talking about frats, fraternities, And I just gave you an example of what that looked like a little bit prior. Let's just right here. Matter of fact, let's do this real quick. Since we're talking about the fraternities, because I want to show the fraternal connection. That's what I want to show them. And we're talking about Islam. So I think this would be an appropriate time to insert this information. If you guys have never heard of this guy right here, please go look him up. Dr. Abdul Hamid Suleiman Muhammad. If I'm saying that right. He was a high Egyptian Mason. That's what it says. High Egyptian Mason. Now, what's so accurate about this photo? This is prior to the white Shriners I showed you earlier, Mr. Fleming's up in New York. This is a little bit before Mr. Fleming's. This brother here was the first, outside of the good brother. What is his name? I think his name in a second, but this brother here was one of the first brothers to appear in North America. Deuce Muhammad. Besides Ali Deuce Muhammad, this brother was the first brother to appear on the shores of North America with that fez on, with that symbol on that fez. You can find some older with the symbol like that on the fez, and that symbol is not a saboteur or moon crescent. That is the claw of the Bengal tiger from Lahore, Pakistan. Then them white boys got y'all thinking that shit is some crescent moon. There ain't no crescent moon and star. But this brother right here was the first one to hit the shores of North America with this symbol on. I'm gonna read a little bit real quick. It says, Dr. Solomon's affiliation with the Moors. It says, this is to bring clarity to that. It's obvious that Dr. Solomon had his own agenda as well. We must not forget that our own holy prophet, they're referring to Noble Drew Ali. They saying that Noble Drew Ali departed from the old Canaanite temple due to consistent opposition and confusion. Talking about this brother right here. So Noble Drew Ali and Dr. Abdul Hamid Salim Muhammad, okay, were the restorers of the old Canaanite temple in Newark, New Jersey. That's okay. I'll give y'all time to catch up with the fuck I just said, because I just said a whole lot of good shit and y'all ain't making no noise in the chat, but it's okay. Because you guys go ahead.
Brother, could you tell me what website you're on right now?
Absolutely, with pleasure. This is the Moorish American Government.land, Lost Tribes of Ali. I'll do you one better. I'll copy it and put it inside the chat so everybody can go check it out. There it is. It's in the chat, and I'll be sure to leave it in the comments after we get off. But this is Dr. Solomon. Him and no disrespect, Timothy Drew, who was an Egyptian adept student. That's what the article said. Noble Drew Ali or Timothy Drew, the Egyptian. Well, then who was initiating you into the order? This brother right here did. We're going to get back to the Klan, I promise you. I promise you. I'm trying to show you a period of time in the early 1920s, late 1800s in North America, between the Reconstruction Era, it was called the Harlem Renaissance Era, and the early 1930s, after World War I, what was happening. Because those same Klansmen that Brother Crumb's going to talk about here in a second are the same motherfuckers that dropped Molotov cocktail bombs on Tulsa, Oklahoma. They were returning World War I veterans. And when those returning World War I veterans hooked up with those white militias, and those white militias were implanted in the South, just like we send our people over to the Middle East to unstabilize their government, that's what they were. They were sent to the South to destabilize the government, to make sure that the South never never ever pulled that shit again. So they were agents. You had people called lobbyists. This was a whole political switch and social. So a lot of social organizations are going to start to pop up in the 1920s. The Old Canaanite Temple. The Moorish Temple of Science was the first one. Then the Moorish Science Temple later. The Nation of Islam. 5% Nations of the Earth. This group, that group, this group, that group. It was a social and political restructure of America. See, this is how I'm teaching on February 10th. We're not doing no barbershop talk. This is real shit. But anyway, this is Dr. Abdul Hamid Suleiman Muhammad. Look him up. He got the fez on. He was in cahoots with Timothy Drew at the Old Canaanite Temple. Here's what he said. This is an actual article. There's a fucking receipts in the newspaper clippings. Egyptian ex-high priest declares there are no true Shriners among colored or white Americans. Why is he making this statement a fact? Because Richard Fleming and the white boys just decided to start their own shit. But the white boys had to call their shit ancient Arabic order. This brother is Egyptian. Just like Dr. Muhammad. Anyway. He said there's no legitimate or real noble of the mystic shrine, black or white, affiliated with American Masonry, declared Dr. Abdul Hamid Suleiman, ex-high priest from the city of Khartoum, Sudan, Egypt. Deuce Muhammad Ali from Egypt. Order of the ancient Egyptian and order of the Arabic shrine. The white boys with the Klan came out of the Arabic order. Not the same. So he goes on to basically explain his point. Over here it says followers of Muhammad seek Negro converts. See, this was the recruiting session for Islam in America as we know it. This was a whole recruiting campaign. Remember, this was a social, political charged time. All the way from the Reconstruction period between 1866, 68 up until 1930 was a whole political shift. Third Great Awakening. Look at this brother. 96-degree Mason. That says at night, I'm going to blow it up for y'all because y'all think I'm lying. And I'm going to pass the mic. I'm going to let it ride after this right here. Look. They're the most notable gathering of edible Masonic Quarterly. This was in New York, by the way. Same brother, Abdullah Hamid of Qatar, Egypt, 96-degree Mason. Look who else is there. Deuce Muhammad Ali was also there. John Edward Bruce, contributor, was also there. And why am I pointing this out? Why am I showing y'all this? Not today, but I promise you we'll get into it at some point. I'm going to show you how Deuce Muhammad Ali, who he taught. He was a teacher out of Egypt, out of the west onto the east. So I just wanted to point that out, man. Let's get back to this Kloran because it sounds real close to something else.
Yeah, absolutely. If you look in the middle, you're going to see where they actually got that from. They actually got it from the Koran or the Al-Quran.
Now, let me ask you this question, bro. Have you ever heard that Elijah Muhammad's were in cahoots with the Klan at one point?
As well as Marcus Garvey, yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. All right. I thought I want to make sure I wasn't making that up. Wow.
Yeah, that's definitely a true statement. Next slide whenever you're ready. The Kloran. The original Kloran was written by William J. Sims, as the minister said. It's a fraternal order. But I just want you guys to know that when it says Woodman of the World, the guy who revived it, that's his building right there in the middle. Oh, this one guy, his name is William J. Simmons and Woodmen of the World. See, this is the thing about the Klan that's way different than what you Negroes out here doing. This fraternal order, the Klan, they set it up and they built it based off life insurance policies. See, that's why the KKK is in this building and the Moorish Science Temple is in a goddamn barbershop. That's why the Klan is in this building and the damn the Black Masons is in a dilapidated building. That's why the Klan, see, and because they base their whole fraternal order.
Hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right. Say it.
That's right.
What
Woodmen
the fuck?
of the World Life Insurance Society is a not-for-profit fraternal benefit society founded in 1890, based in Omaha, Nebraska, that operates a large privately held insurance company. The Moors, when a Moor dies, y'all go into debt. When the Mason die, a Black Mason, y'all go into debt. You let a Klan rest in peace, David Duke. Get money. When David Duke transitioned, they celebrated. What are you talking about, Moors, Masons, you Muslims out here in these these temples that look like dog houses? What are you talking about? These people put their money where their mouth is. They all invested and they pay their dues every month. What are you guys talking about?
Listen. Before you go any further with the fucking madness, my boy Cooking, man. Listen, we at 200 people, man. We right at the 1 hour mark at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bam, 1 hour mark. We're at 210 viewers. That means that what y'all hearing before y'all right now is nothing compared to what the fuck about to happen February 10th. crumtv.info/events. Tap in. Tap all the way in. Because, see, I told Crumb, like, and this is me being transparent with y'all because I love all y'all. And then you can do about it. I said, fuck all this free shit, bro. We've been Crumb TV, the platform itself, even before it was born, we was giving free, we were just talking. We're not extorting people selling fucking t-shirts. There's no store attached to our fucking thing trying to get y'all for nothing else. And we be cooking on this motherfucker, man. Even when we had Crip Jesus, everybody on here, like we had a fucking, we had an all-star cast on here, man. We're bringing y'all some heat for a long time, family. This ain't part of the presentation. This just real shit. Because we got about another 35, maybe 40 minutes in this shit, right? And then we out. We put together, this brother is putting together who the fuck still do PowerPoints? This shit takes a long time to construct linear information in a short period of time and then present it to y'all for free. Ain't no such thing as free. Y'all been knowing that. That's why I don't say too much when I'm on here. Crumb, no. Like, I can get the fucking going. I can talk on this bitch for 3 days in a row. At 4-hour intervals. Easy. But support those who support y'all, fam. That's all we saying, man. No scam, no swindle. Guarantee you.
Next slide, please. The Kloran, KL culture. The minister had already read over a lot of this, but I got a ghetto meme here, And you're going to see where this culture within the Kloran and the Ku Klux Klan is the same culture in the Blood Gang and the Crip Gang. So here is ghetto memes, and this is a blood talking the same way to Ku. Well, let me just read a little bit of it. The letters KL were often used at the beginning of words to delineate a clan association. Examples are Kloran, Conversation, Clavern, Clavaliers, the word clan with a K, um, blah, blah, blah. So here's what the Bloods, their rendition of it is in ghetto memes. Banks Biving Binner bow to be banging with some Berkey and Bravey with a side of Born and Bashed Barbados. I think one person who I really like, and he does that a lot, is Crip Mac. Shout out Crip Mac. He's very funny. He's on one of these podcasts. He's just a very interesting character. And he does this a lot where he just puts B's in front of no, I think he's a Crip, excuse me. He puts C's in front of words, and I think he goes like McDonald's and tries to make an order, but he puts C's in the words so they don't understand. But nonetheless, it's all gang culture. It's all fraternal order culture. In this particular case. Anything, or we can go to the next slide, whatever you want to do.
No, continue. Let's go to the next one. I'm saying learning my damn self.
Okay, so we went over the origins, we went over the Reconstruction period, we went over the handbook. Let's go over those funny hats. Next slide. The conical, aka pointed hat. I guess in the nature of the clan, it would be the clonical, but it's a conical. I'm being funny. Existence of the conical hat is known as early as the Bronze Age in Middle East, Eurasia, and Central Europe. However, conical hats were recovered in ancient Egypt, especially when depicting Osiris and pharaohs with emulated Osiris's. Something is cut off at the bottom. I don't know what it means, but anyway, yeah. Next slide, whenever you're ready. If you want to, unless you want to add something.
No, go ahead.
In the Bronze Age, the conical golden hats of Bronze Age Central Europe were probably a ceremonial accessory worn by the priesthood. In the Iron Age, the textile analysts of Tarim mummies has shown some similarities to the Iron Age civilization of Europe dating from 800 BC. One unusual find was a distinctly pointed hat. Yet another female, her skeleton found beside the remains of a man, still wore a terrifically tall conical hat, just like those we depict on witches riding broomsticks or a medieval wizard intent at their magical spells. Pointed hats were also worn in ancient times by the Scythians, excuse me, and are on Hindu temples as helmets or metal crowns, and in Hittite reliefs. As described by Herodotus, the name of the Scythian tribe is the whatever compound, literally translating to people with pointed hats. Besides the Scythians, the Caribeer, whatever, as well as Odysseus, are traditionally depicted wearing a pylos or a woolen conical hat. Next slide, please.
Well, let me let you finish first because I do want to add something to this right here. Go ahead though.
Okay. This was the next slide, or you wanted to add something?
No, this is the next slide right here.
Okay. The caparoti, the Christian pointed hat of conical form that is used in Spain by members of the Confraternity of Penance. Excuse me. It is part of the uniform of brotherhoods and reenactments in some areas during Holy Week in Spain and its former colonies. Caparoti are worn by penitents so that attention is drawn towards themselves as they repent, but to where it's not drawn towards themselves as they repent, but instead to God. The Caparoti has been intentionally co-opted by the 20th century American KKK, and as such is widely constructed as a symbol of racial hatred in the United States. Historically, the flagellants are the origin of the current traditions, as they flogged themselves with a discipline to do penance. The use of the caparoti or carroza was prescribed in Spain by the Holy Office of Inquisition. Men and women who were arrested had to wear a paper caparoti in public as a sign of public humiliation. The caparoti was worn during the session of the auto de fe. The color was different. Um, The color was different, conforming to the judgment of the office. People who were condemned to be executed wore a red carroza. Other punishments used different colors.
So,
did you want to add something, or should we continue?
Yeah, sure, for sure. Hold on, I'm about to throw something in here. The Dunce hat. Y'all remember the Dunce cap? And the Dunce cap was a pointed hat as well. Now, the pointed hats that the priests have on also is an emblem of the church towers. You ride past these huge monolithic churches, you look at the pentacle of the church is a cone shape, typically with a ball and maybe a cross on top of the ball, right? But this is called a dunce hat. Scotus donatus. The dunce cap also variously known as the dunce hat, dunce cap, or dunce hat, a pointed hat formerly used as an article of discipline in school. In Europe, in the United States, in the early 19th and 20th century, I promise you we're not going to escape these two eras while we're talking. That's why you guys have to know time and space. I'm going to keep repeating that until I phase out of this motherfucking place. Always know time and space. 19th and 20th century. That's the 1800s and 1900s. Century for children who were disruptive or considered slow in learning. Now, this is not true. These disruptors of learning were not conformed to the spell. And Crumb has done a great job on breaking down the spells and so on and so forth. But this is the pointed hat also. You also will be notice that the dunce of the pointed hat also is witches and wizards wear this pointed hat. So there is some type of, see, this is a similar cap made of paper called, it's the same thing. Same thing. And the point I want to bring up with Crumb real quick was this: the Spanish Inquisition was the first time that this hat was presented. But maybe people don't know or understand what was happening during the Spanish Inquisition. And I'm going to show you real quick what the Spanish Inquisition looks like now. And we're going to stay in Spain, by the way. They actually mock the Inquisition time frame. Remember those Shriners I showed you earlier? Those nobles I showed you earlier? Their white counterparts in America mock one way, and in Spain, they mock another way. This is all associated to those priests we just looked at just now. These priests right here, this is Spain. This is also Spain. In America, you're going to see white Klansmen. And in America, you're going to see the introduction of what's called blackface in America. The similarities are crazy.
When the Inquisition was abolished, the symbol of punishment and penance was kept in the Catholic Brotherhood. However, the capirotes used today are different. They are covered in fine fabric and prescribed by the Brotherhood. To this day, they are still worn during the celebration of the Holy Week. I think I read this already. Next slide. Oh, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. Let me go back one more time. Notably, okay, I'll read it just to be on the safe side. To this day, there are still during the celebration of Holy Week / Easter by penitents who perform public penance for their sins, who walk through streets with the capirote. The usage of the capirote during the Holy Week was once common throughout Spain's colonies, but this custom has since died out in most of them by the late 19th century. Notable exceptions to this are some parts of Mexico and Guatemala. Similar hoods are common in other Christian countries such as Italy. The capirote is today the symbol of the Catholic penitent. Only members of a confraternity of penitents are allowed to wear them during solemn processions. Children can receive the capirote after their first Holy Communion when they enter the brotherhood. Okay, next slide. The dunce cap origins. The word is derived from the name of the Scottish scholastic theologian and philosopher John Duns Scotus, along with Thomas Aquinas and William Occam. He was one of the leading scholastic philosophers / theologians of the High Middle Ages. Duns Scotus wrote treatises on theology, treatise on theology, grammar, logic, and metaphysics, which were widely influential throughout Western Europe, earning Duns a papal accolade, doctorate subtilis, subtle teacher. Duns remained highly esteemed in the Roman Catholic Church and was beatified by Pope John Paul II in 1993. The followers of John Scotus were called the Dunces. Dunsmen or Scotus. When the 16th century of the Scotus argued against Renaissance humanism, the term duns or dunce became, in the mouth of the Protestants, a term of abuse and a synonym for one incapable of scholarship. So the dunce thing was popping before the Renaissance took place. Next slide. John Duns was a Scottish Catholic priest, because a lot of this KKK stuff is very much Scottish. Was a Scottish Catholic priest and friar, university professor, philosopher, and theologian. One of three most important philosopher theologians of Western Europe in the Middle High Ages. Together with these other three dudes, Scotus has had considerable influence on both Catholic and secular thought. The doctrines for which he is best known are the univocity of being. That existence is the most abstract concept we have, applicable to everything, blah, blah, blah. Let's go to the next one. We've talked about him enough. Origin of the Klan. Let's continue, because this is a Scottish clan. The word clan is very much Scottish. Origin of the Klan. Gaelic, clan, literally children. More broadly, kindred is a kinship group among the Scottish people. Clans give a sense of shared identity and descent to members. You see that red box, it says Scottish, and then you see the red circle at the very bottom. It says fraternity. Next slide. Whenever you're ready, next slide. Origins of the Burning Cross. Next slide. The Birth of a Nation. You're going to see this is the very first movie that ever had aired in the White House. And it has the iconic picture of a Klansman with a small burning cross in his hand. You're going to see the other picture to the right. It says the fiery cross of the Scottish Hills. This is all very much Scottish. You're going to see two Klansmen. If you can go back for just a second, brother. You're going to see a Klansman with a burning cross in his hand. It's very different from them crosses you see burning in people's yards. This is the origin of that. All right, I'm ready. Next slide.
Hold on 1 second. I just want to pour some more heat on that grease real quick.
Okay.
Hold on. What church had those crosses on the church? These crosses are on churches like right now, and I think we ride past them every day and don't even notice it. Since we're talking about these burning crosses, hold on, let me pull it up real quick. This is actually the logo for the Methodist Church, is a flaming cross. That's actually the fucking logo right there. That's fire. That's red flames behind the cross. It's a burning cross. That was it. That's my 2 cents.
Wow, you can't make this stuff up. Okay, next slide. Birth of a Nation is Scottish. Thomas Frederick Dixon Jr., he was born 111 January 11th, was an American white supremacist, Baptist minister, politician, lawyer, lecturer, novelist, playwright, and, as we all know, filmmaker. Referred to as a professional racist, Dixon wrote 2 best-selling novels, The Leopard's Spots, a romance of the white man's burden, and Historical Romance of the KKK, that romanticized Southern white supremacy, endorsed the lost cause of the Confederacy, opposed equal rights for blacks, glorified the KKK as heroic vigilantes. Film director Somebody adapted The Klansman for the screen of Birth of a Nation, which inspired the creators of the 20th century rebirth of the Klan. The Klansman was dedicated to the memory of a Scottish-Irish leader of the South, my uncle, Colonel Leroy McFay, Grand Titan of some KKK group. So again, family, Scottish rights, Scottish Klan, Scottish movies for the Klan, the Burning Cross is Scottish, the Klan is Scottish. Next slide. The Burning Cross, Scottish origins. In Scotland, the fiery cross, known as the Cran Tara, was used as a declaration of war. The site of it commanded all Klan members to rally at the defense of the area. On other occasions, a small burning cross would be carried from town to town. The Negroes are coming. I'm just joking, family. All right, next slide. And here's another depiction of a Klan member holding. This is not in America, family. This is not in America. This is in Ireland. It says, rearing the fiery cross for the assembly of the Highland clans before the Battle of Pinkick, 1517. This is not even in America. This whole KKK thing, these burning crosses and so on and so forth, that's not us. That's them. Please continue. Next slide. Superman, Clan of the Fiery Cross. So Superman even fought the Clan of the Fiery Cross. It's not called a burning cross. It's a fiery cross. That's what they called it. And even in the Adventures of Superman, Superman had to fight they remember DC, Marvel, they weren't allowed to say things like KKK. They called them the Clan of the Fiery Cross. They didn't call it the KKK. They didn't say Ku Klux Klan. But when Superman fought them, they were the Clan of the Fiery Cross. Let's continue. You're going to see another depiction. This guy's in a boat. He's got his clan with them. They've got kilts on, green berets. I think one dude even has a bagpipe or something. But the dude in the front, there he is with that fiery cross. There is no Klan rally. Well, this is a Klan rally. This is the first Klan rally. It had nothing to do with Negroes. Next slide. The Burning Cross, Cran Tara. The bidding stick, or the biting stick, sometimes also referred to as the bud stick, war arrow, or stem bod, is a term for a wooden object such as a club or a baton, excuse me, carried by a messenger and used by Northern Europeans, for example, in Scotland and Scandinavia, to rally people for things, assemblies. Assembly is an English word for the Hebrew word synagogue, and for defense or rebellion. This is what the rebels, the Confederates, in Scotland, such as a token, was used to rally Klan members to arms. The practice is described in the novels and poetry of Sir Walter Scott. A small burning cross or charred piece of wood would be carried from town to town. A widely known use was in 1715 Jacobite Rising, although it was used more recently during Scottish settlers in Canada, Canada, during the War of 1812. In 1820, over 800 fighting men with the Scottish Clan grant were gathered by the passing of a fiery cross to come to the aid of their clan chief and his sister in the town of Elgin. Look at this guy with the fiery cross, and look at the flag behind him. Next slide. A lot of the South's population was made up of Scottish immigrants. Go reference the book, How Celtic. Is everything okay, brother? Comments? Oh, there he is. Okay. Oh no, he's not here. Oh, there he is. Okay, he's back.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. Hold on. Can you yeah, okay. Let me go back. I don't know, she just kind of clipped out. Like, what the fuck is happening? Well, the tip here, this fucking Zoom.
Right.
Trying to ban us on him, man.
Yeah, keep going. Keep going.
Was it
almost there?
Hold on. Because it's doing some weird shit right now. See, I keep jumping back. That's crazy. All right, hold on. Let me just remove it. Let's see what happens.
There we go. All right, so this dude with the fiery cross, you're going to see him in front of the. Okay, well, yeah. A lot of the South's population was made up of Scottish immigrants. There was a book written by James P. Cantrell titled "How Celtic Culture Invented Southern Literature." There was another book written by Grady, I love that name, Grady McWhiney, titled Cracker Culture, Celtic Ways in the Old South. Next slide. The rebel flag was Scottish. Arthur L. Rogers, designer of the final version of the Confederate national flag, claimed that it was based on the saltire of Scotland. The saltire is used on modern-day southern U.S. state flags to honor the former Confederacy. Below the Irish flag is the Irish flag of 1783. So right here at the top left-hand corner, you see the Irish flag. The flag of Ireland before that was, instead of being a blue background and a white cross, it was a white background and a red cross. And you're going to see this also confirmed in the book, the Confederate battle flag, America's most embattled emblem, which is nothing more than a Scottish flag. Next slide. Hillbillies were Scottish. The Appalachian Mountains were settled in the 18th century by settlers primarily from England, lowland Scotland, and the province of Ulster in Ireland. The settlers from Ulster were mainly Protestants who migrated to Ireland from Scotland and northern England during the plantation of Ulster in the 17th century. Many further migrated to American colonies beginning in the 1730s, and in America became known as the Scottish Irish. These are racist, backwater hillbillies with no teeth, Beverly Hill hillbillies. All of them were There we go. I called it the Beverly Hill hillbillies, or I'm sorry, the Beverly Hillbillies. These were all Scottish people, family. They were all Irish Scottish. These are your Klansmen. These backwood hillbillies.
Jed, Jeffro, Granny, Ellen.
Scottish Irish.
Yeah. That is crazy. Damn. That's them though.
Yeah.
Look at
all
them.
Day.
That's nuts, bro. Wow. This shit.
Next slide. Hillbillies were Scottish, part 2. Scholars argue that the term hillbilly originated from the Scottish dialect. The term hill folk referred to people who preferred isolation from the greater society, and billy meant comrade or companion. It is suggested that hill folk, or billy, were combined when the Cameronians fled to the hills of southern Scotland. There is also the belief that most of the settlers from Scotland and Northern Ireland were followers of King William of Orange. Dr. Sebi talked about the House of Orange. They were the ones who created the carrot. Billy, because prior to the House of Orange, carrots were not orange. That's neither here nor there. Billy is a diminutive of William, common across the British and Irish Isles. Bill Clinton is really William Clinton, is another popular example of that. The term hillbilly connects to the people who settled in America in the hills and were Williamites. In the 17th century Ireland, during the Williamite War, the Protestant supporters of King William III, King Billy, were often referred to as Billy's boys. Next slide.
That's nuts.
And you see him. Well, you saw him. He had I think he had a kilt on. But anyway, rednecks were Scottish. I'm going through all of them. Anybody know how much all is? That's a joke. Rednecks were Scottish. The origin of the term. Let's drop it on one time apart. The origins of the term are Scottish. I think it should be of Scottish. The origins of this term are Scottish. Okay, yeah, that's right. And refer to supporters of the national covenant of the Solemn League or Covenant, or Covenanters, largely lowland Presbyterians, many of whom would flee Scotland for Ulster, which is Northern Ireland, during prosecutions by the British Crown. The Covenanters of the Covenanters of the 1638 and 1641 signed the documents that stated that Scotland desired the Presbyterian form of church government and would not accept the Church of England as the official state church. Many Covenanters signed in their own blood and wore red pieces of cloth around their necks as distinctive insignia. This is a gang, family. What gang? I'm asking the people in the comments. What gang wears red flags to distinguish themselves? There's a popular gang, well, I'm gonna say popular, an infamous gang, a well-known gang in America who does the same thing that these rednecks did by wearing red flags. Instead of around their neck, they wore them in their pocket, or they wear them in their pocket. The back pocket on the right side, I believe. Anyway, let's continue on. Hence the term redneck, which became slang for the Scottish dissenter. One Scottish immigrant interviewed by the author remembered a Presbyterian minister, one Dr. Coulter, in Glasgow in 1940s wearing a red clerical collar. Since many Ulster Scottish settlers in America were Presbyterian, the term was applied to them and then later to their southern descendants. One of the earliest examples of its use comes from 1830, when an author noted that redneck was the name bestowed upon the Presbyterians. See, and let me just make this clear. The Presbyterians were at war. What was that dude who posted that stuff on that church doors, like 96 theses or something?
That was Martin Luther.
Martin Luther was banging at that time. The Presbyterians were banging at this time. What was the dude who went to war because he kept killing his wives and the Pope said stop and he wouldn't, and he created his own church too? Like everybody was. What was the name of that dude? His daughter was Bloody Mary. It was a dude. He kept killing his wives, and then the Pope said, "You can't kill your wives because I'm the Pope. I'm bigger than the king." And he was like, "Well, I'm going to be a Pope then," and he started his own church. Somebody in the listening audience, please, and for those who are going to catch this later, yeah, there was this one king. But anyway, but back then. I'm sorry. But
I wanted to point this out,
please,
real quick. Since in the same spirit of the Irish rednecks, the kindly also add value. Before they were rednecks, they were red legs, and these red legs are of, guess what? Scottish and Irish European descent. The redlegs is a term used to refer to poor whites, rednecks, redlegs, rednecks, redlegs. The redlegs, however, applied to the ones who lived in Barbados, St. Vincent, Grenada, and a few other Caribbean islands. Their forebears were sent from England, Scotland, Ireland, and the continent of Europe as indentured servers, forced laborers, or peons. According to folk etymology, the name derived from the effect of the tropical sun on the fair-skinned legs of white immigrants, they call them now. So they went from being slave forced laborers to being immigrants now known as sunburn. However, the term red leg and its variants were also used for Irish soldiers who were taken as prisoners of war in the Irish Confederate Wars and transported to Barbados as indentured servants. In addition to redlegs, the term underwent extensive processing in Barbados and following the term used as red shanks, poor whites, poor brackets, brackets Johnny, Icky Becky, Johnnies, poor backward Johnnies, poor whites from the hills, eating white mice, or bake neck. This is prior to redneck. This is bake neck, they called them. Historically, everything besides poor whites was used as a derogatory insult. That's crazy. This is the 1700s, by the way. Sugarcane plantations. And a lot of the Irish got what was called red rose potatoes from the islands and took them back to Ireland and gave you a variant version of what's known as the Irish potato. That's why in North America during the 1920s, World War I, these Irish immigrants in New York was always eating one of two things. They either ate potato soup or cabbage soup. Those are the only two crops that these Irish immigrants in New York had to eat, i.e. the movie, what's the fucking call? Willy Wonka. Those are all Irish immigrants, poor white peons, they call them. Vagabonds. Undesirables. So on and so forth. I yield the floor, good brother.
Next slide, please. Scottish KKK founders. In late 1865, during the early days of the Reconstruction Era, Pulaski was the site of the founding of the first KKK by 6 Tennessee veterans of the Confederate Army. 4 of the 6 were Scottish. Next slide. Oh, well, actually, here. Let me just point out the names. Kennedy. Kennedy is probably one of the most, McCord is very Irish. Kennedy is very Irish. Reed is very Irish. Jones is very Irish. I'll go into some of them. Next slide.
Now, I want to point to this audience, the word Mac is Irish by way of the Moors. All last name Max can be traced back to the Moors coming into the area. And that's a fact. That's why all Macs wore Maori alligators. I promise you, it sounds crazy as fuck. Look it up. Because the Moors always had on like ostrich skins and gator skins when they came into Europe. So they call them, look up the history behind Maori alligators. And Max, they recall, were the last names. Crazy, I know. But please continue.
Next slide. There we go. Scottish KKK founders, Jones. And from the website, source material, irishsurnames.com, in an article titled Jones Coat of Arms Family Crest. It reads, Jones family history. Jones is a baptismal name meaning the son of Joan or Johann or Johann, a very old personal name. This name is of Welsh descent, spreading to England, Ireland, and Scotland in early times, and is found in many medieval manuscripts throughout the above countries. Next slide. Whenever you're ready, next slide. You still there? There we go. Okay. Scottish KKK founders. Now let's go over the name Kennedy. Kennedy, alternately O. Kennedy or Kennedy, is a surname of Irish and Scottish origin that has also been used as a given name. The name Kennedy is a girl's name of Irish origin meaning misshapen head. An anglicized version of the Irish Gaelic name Kennedy, meaning helmeted chief. And you look at in the bottom right hand corner, it says Kennedy, meaning in essence Helmet head. Next slide. McCord. McCord, also rendered Mac Court or McCourt. McCord, McCard, or Mac Cord, is a Northern Irish and Scottish surname with origins having been found between Ayrshire, Scotland, but mostly in Argyll. Blah, 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 blah. Moving on. Next slide. Reed. The name Reed are nicknames meaning red-haired. One from a person with reddish hair. The name is of Anglo-Saxon descent, spreading to the Celtic countries of Ireland, Scotland, and Wales in early times, and is found in many medieval scripts throughout these countries. Next slide.
I think.
Okay, actually, yes, sir. That was it. So this has been the origins of the KKK, and by and large, these origins are Scottish. I was going to say, in the video called White Slaves, I go into the depths of the history of the Irish battling Oliver Cromwell. That's where we get into the story of the Red Legs. That's where we get into the story of the Irish slaves in America that were mistaken for black people, so on and so forth, blah, blah, blah. But with that said, that's been my portion of understanding of the origins of the KKK, and I yield the floor.
Be sure to get them tickets February 10th, family. Appreciate it, Cron. We're gonna tap out of here, man. Be sure to subscribe, y'all. Share. Y'all on here the whole hour 45 minutes rocking, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate everybody on here. Everybody rock with us, man. Will Justice, everybody. We see everybody on here, man. It's a lot of y'all. 200 people. It's a movement, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's a movement. Truly, truly, truly a blessing to be here with y'all, man. So, peace and love. February 10th, remember, we're going live on Zoom. Live on Zoom. That means we can say what the fuck we want to say, what we want to do. Act the fool. You guys get to come on there live with me in person and act the fool with me. Not act the fool in that way, but you know. Freedom. Say what the fuck we want to say. It's going to be amazing. February 10th. Crom TV. Misinformation, man. Crom, appreciate it, man. Big dog salute. Peace to everybody. Have a wonderful, amazing week. Peace and love.
Hello, everybody.